So yes guys, hello and welcome back to the Adam Templeton Triathlete YouTube channel. You join me Sunday the 7th of September 2025. We're now officially 1 week out from the Vitruvian middle distance triathlon, and yeah, this morning I've just finished up there, the last sort of big quality swim that I'm going to do, and I have to say that is one of the best swims that I've ever done. Yeah, just when you get there and you've got the lane to yourself, what an absolute treat. And then, yeah, normally what I do on a Sunday, kind of the big workout, I would do them in like rounds of four. So 4 by 300, 4 by 200, 4 by 100. But yeah, just sort of lifting the load a little bit, done it as rounds of three. And yeah, I just had a feel for the water this morning. I couldn't believe it. It does make it a lot easier when there's nobody else splashing about and the rest of the pool is quiet. But yeah, the turnover was there, the freshness is definitely coming back, and yeah, just feeling good in the water for once. So that was absolutely magic. Up next, I'll head home and then grab something to eat. And it's a sort of long-ish run that I've got left today. The weather, it's fairly mild. It's sort of 16, 17 degrees this morning. A little bit windy, and you know, I never like running in the wind, but to be honest, I think it's going to be some good preparation for next weekend. The weather forecast, I think we're just one weekend too late for it being nice, sort of 20 degrees. It's looking like it's going to be pretty windy and maybe a little bit wet for next weekend. And that's another question that I've got for the race as well. If anyone's done it before, is it just dark when you start? Like sunrise is meant to be at like 6:30, and that's exactly when the race is starting. So if it's cloudy, yeah, it's going to be pretty dark. So definitely, if you've done this one before, let me know in the comments if you do just start in the pitch black. But yeah, as well, sort of today, I guess probably one of the reasons why the pool was maybe a bit more quiet was that it's a Great North Run Day. So anyone doing that one today, all the best. Again, weather for it is okay. It's going to be tough if you're running into the headwind at any point, and maybe it's a bit hotter than some people were expecting, but yeah, good luck if you're taking that one on. Time for me to head home, and I'll catch you just before I'm heading out the door for this long run. And here we go. It's now officially Sunday, long but not too long run time. Yep, it's coming up, it's just after sort of 12:15. You're probably wondering, how is it possible that I finish my swim at 9:15 and head out the door at 12:15? To be honest, in recent months, I've realised that any time I go to swim fairly hard, it just takes out of me. It makes me really tired. So typically what I do on a Sunday is I get up, have breakfast, go to the pool, have something to eat. When I get back, go to bed for like an hour, and then sort of once I wake up, pretty much have second breakfast, and once that's more so digested, it's then time to head out the door for the run. And as I mentioned yesterday, sort of it's been the biggest shift in intensity within my training over the past few weeks is adding in some more sort of LT1 work on the long run. Kind of doing it just as longer intervals, and I don't actually know the last time that I looked at pace or heart rate when I've been out on a run. Like before, I used to care so much about every interval that I was doing. I was like, oh, that 400 meter rep was 3 seconds slower, or this one was 2 seconds faster. And it's the even at times in the long run, if you're doing intervals, I'd get caught up in thinking, oh, I'll make sure I keep the recoveries fairly quick as well, just to make it look good in Strava. No. Now I've realised with running, it's just a game of accumulation, and if you're able to handle more volume and more distance without getting injured, keeping the consistency, that's the most important thing. So yeah, just pretty much always off feel. The only sort of kilometre that I have been looking at is at the end of the long runs. I always find that if you're able to run hard, even just for like 1 kilometre, that definitely builds the strength. It's like, yeah, I've been doing kind of LT1 blocks and then usually a final kilometre that is pretty fast. So it's going to be the same again today. Probably start with like 3 to 4 kilometres, just getting into it, and then going to do 3 times 3k, 1 kilometre off, 2 times 2k, 1 kilometre off in between, and then one final kilometre fairly fast. Again, dry at the moment. It might start raining. There was a brief shower earlier on. I think it is more later on in the afternoon that there's more chance of rain, but I'll make sure to get the anti-chafe stuff on anyway, just in case I do get wet. And for that final kilometre, I'll try and make sure it's on some suitable terrain and suitable wind direction. Because yeah, it's more about the leg speed that I want today rather than pushing the hard effort. So yeah, we'll try and make sure it's in a suitable direction to get as much speed as possible. And again, sort of the volume for this one, if I'm doing it, just worked it out there, so 4k warm up, 3k with 1k race, that would give me 12k, so that sums up to 16, 2k's, 1k's, that's an extra 6, so that was up to 22, and then 1k, that's 24. Then I'll probably make it 25, I'll probably make it a 2k cool down after that last kilometre. And again, sort of effort-wise, the 3k's at the same kind of effort that I've been doing recently for the longer efforts on the long run. The 2k's maybe pushing on a tiny bit more, and then that 1k, yeah, getting the leg speed going for that final one. And when you break up a long run like this, sometimes it's the rest intervals that can feel longer than the actual intervals themselves, but it does make it fly by. And when I've been here back at home, I'd always pride myself on doing a no repeat long run, so sticking to different roads the full time. Here, I just prefer doing similar loops. So I've got a few that I know, sort of 10k, 12k, 8k. Probably head out, do one of the 12k loops, and then come back, do a 10k loop, and the final 3k, I can then know when to go, what wind the direction is coming, making sure I'm ready. And yeah, I guess that's enough chit chat from me. Get a last bit of warm up done here. Just get this one in the bank. So I'll catch you again once I'm finished. And there we go, long run, done and dusted, and actually not executed as planned. So done the 4k's warm up, and then done the 3k reps fine, and then just as I was starting one of the 2k reps, I was crossing at this set of lights. It's kind of the amount of traffic lights and roundabouts round about here is an absolute nightmare. Amount of junctions, so I was kind of zigzagging towards it, and there was this group of wee kids that I had to zigzag through, and then my watch buzzed to start the rep. So then I kind of forcefully pushed off for one step, and then as I was then running on from that point, I could kind of feel my left hamstring, and it was fine for the first 2k rep and fine for the second 2k rep. And then I was plodding along, and obviously I was, as I mentioned before, normally wanting to do that fast 1 kilometre rep to finish. And I managed to stop myself from doing it. I decided no, because the amount of times that I've done that before a race, where I go out and it's sort of that last hard run, and I just do something stupid. But I managed to stop myself this time. So yeah, ended up 22k's in total. I'll probably put the heart rate graph up on the screen just now. Again, I didn't look at the pace, but I'd imagine it was probably pretty steady, pretty controlled. Any sort of inclines into a headwind, pushing on a little bit, and then the downhills easing off a little bit. it's just so annoying every single time leading into a race. God, just that last run, you know. There's always a bitter taste just left at the end. But it's next week. Next week I can injure myself. Next week I can tear my hamstring if I want. Next week is all about going full gas. Not to race anyone. I'm not there to race anyone else. But at the end of the day, it's not a race dynamic. Everyone else is there, but I'm not going fast enough on the bike to seriously get a draft effect. And it's like I'm there to execute the best that I can. And yeah, my mindset has finally changed for the race. I'm finally feeling more ready. And I guess it does kind of show that I've at least progressed ever so slightly as an athlete, knowing when to call it and not doing stupid things on the run. But yeah, I'll probably sign the video off here. I know I've pretty much done like 3 or 4 clips today, and it's once again just chit chat, but that's what this series is going to be. So yeah, if you did enjoy this one today, be sure to hit the like button. And if you want to keep up with the rest of my leading into the Vitruvian middle distance triathlon coming up in 1 week's time, make sure to press subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next one.